that the majority doesn't agree with. And your job as a sort of messenger, if you will, because we vote on it, and we develop solutions, but we're also messengers. And so sometimes you have to develop the message and say, okay, this is something that needs to be done, and even if I can't accomplish it now, I'm going to spend the time over the next few years and try to convince the public because it's the right thing. And I'll use the marriage equality issue, and I'm not trying, it sounds like I'm trying to promote myself on this, but I don't really mean to do that, but I have to use it because I've watched in the last few days, well not the last few days, but the last few weeks, so many Democrats and Republicans reverse their position on marriage equality or on D.O.M.A. Now D.O.M.A, you all know, is the Defense of Marriage Act, which basically said that the federal government wasn't going to recognize civil unions or same-sex marriage that even if individual states allow, all right? I was one of very few people, I don't know how long ago, 10, 12, 15 years ago, it was when the President Clinton was the president, who voted against it. And at the time, it was a very unpopular position. I think opinion polls said, certainly not the majority that were in favor of it. But we kept, those of us who were opposed D.O.M.A, kept talking for the next 10, 12, I don't know how many years, at various events about how this was a wrong thing, it wasn't workable. And as popular opinion started to develop, I think that we were influencing people to understand that marriage equality makes sense and that D.O.M.A should be repealed. And I was thrilled. I was thrilled when I listened, and I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I read about it to some extent in the newspapers last week when they went through at the Supreme Court. And even some of the Republican appointees were saying that D.O.M.A, or suggesting that D.O.M.A wasn't the right thing to do because it was restricting states' rights. Now, they may have a different ideology of how they get there, but if the Supreme Court strikes down D.O.M.A, it's going to be amazing, and I think it's going to happen.